What's going on, everyone? So let's take a look at Stellar, Lumens, aka XLM, and here we are on CoinMarketCap. And Stellar right now is chilling at number 15 when I'm filming this video. Price around 39 cents. The last 24 hours is up in the green, and then last 7 days, slightly red. No big deal, but we can see here that the current market cap is at $9 billion. So hopefully we can see Stellar make some moves in the next few weeks. But today we're going to look quickly at the price, give my thoughts on that, and then we'll just show you some updates. And in case you have no idea what Stellar is, I'll give you a quick little background too, so that way you can get an idea of like what it's doing and then how this relates to other cryptocurrencies out there. But first of all, let's just look at the chart right now. And just remember, before I start, this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. Be sure to do research before making any investments. But here right now, so the current price point, it's at 39 cents, right? And some change. And we can see here that at least for the last month or so, starting near the end of February up towards today, that we see it's pretty much been consolidating sideways. It's been pretty much up and down between the 50 EMA, and not much action has been happening. But if you were to actually zoom back, and also I'm using the USD pairing on the Coinbase exchange for this chart. So if you're using a different pairing and also a different exchange, your chart might look a little different. But just starting back in pretty much late November and then last year 2020, we can see that it's pretty much been trending upwards. Now it's not perfectly on the trend line that I drew here, but for the most parts, we see that it reaches high point here, slightly dipped below, and then reaches high point again, consolidate for a bit, and spiked up one more time, and then sold off, consolidated again. So ideally, I would like to see this pattern repeat, and then we could see this potentially break out, and then next you know it, we're surpassing this high point again, and then it rinses and repeats, right? So that's just like what I'm looking for in terms of the current, and we can actually zoom in too and check this, but at least right now, the buying volume you can see will be well above the 50 EMA for a bit, and then we sold off, pretty much consolidated sideways, and then broke out again, maintained ourselves above the 50 EMA, slight dip, and then did it again. And now currently this was below the 50 EMA, but for now it seems like if we zoom in on the 1 hour chart, if we go in a little closer, we can see this. And let's just do this so it's easier to read it. And pretty much here, let me zoom back just a little bit, drag this over here. So looking at it currently right now, so here we are, we have this, currently we're above the 50 EMA, so at least short term it looks like we're doing all right. There's really not much news or updates along with XLM that's major, so for the most part the chart, it kind of looks exactly how the actual hype and the news around XML is, where there's really nothing going on. So unless we see some major updates or some partnership or whatnot, then yeah, we could see the price break out and pretty much go off. And then also if Bitcoin decides to make some moves too, then that can also translate over to XLM, aka Stellar too. But at least right now, I would like to see us first break back out and closer towards the 42 range. And then pretty much within the 42 and all the way up to the 46 plus 47 price points. And this range, I want to see us get back into here. So basically break out of this. And then basically I'm looking at this high point, this candlestick right here. Once we get closer towards it's like 46, 47 price point, we need to break out of that first. And then if we were to zoom up even more, the next step I would like to see us once you break out here is to continue trending upward again. And then we'll have to test this actual 60-cent price range. Because again, we haven't actually had any candlesticks that reached that price point in the last few months. So we have to wait and see if we can actually break out of the 60-cent price point first. And assuming that Stellar starts to trend upwards, we could potentially hit the 60 and sell off, consolidate for a bit, and then break back out. And just looking at that percent gain, just to give us some like view on what that looks like. Here I'll measure at the current price points. I mean, you're looking at pretty much a 50+% increase. So for that to happen, again, guys, just in case some people are new, that means that you would basically have to increase the amount injected through the market cap. It's currently at 9 bill. So we're looking at basically half of an increase if you want to see that reach back to the 60-cent price point. So keep that in mind. This isn't just like, oh, let's go to $1 tomorrow. It's one of those things where if you were to double this, the market cap would be at 18 bill, right? So let's just say, hypothetically, this is 40 cents. If Stellar were to go to 80 cents, that would be 18 bill, go to $1, it'd be pretty much 20 plus bill plus. So if you're looking at the terms of the ranking, if this was basically 18 plus, we'd see Stellar at like number 8 spot right now, assuming these are the same. So we first have to see that sort of movement back into XML for seeing those price ranges. And then obviously if you were to hit, the magical $1 price point that everyone likes to see, then we can see that percent gain, at least the current price point. It is, looks like, 150 plus percent gain, right? So that's a big prediction that could happen in the next few months or even few years. But again, the crypto market is super volatile, so we could see that anytime. It just depends on the demand and how people are looking at Stellar. So again, that's looking at it from a bullish perspective. Now let's just pretend Stellar doesn't do too well and it dips below 50 MA and just starts trending downwards. Well, at least historically, it doesn't look like that's happening so far. It seems like it's doing quite well, maintaining its place right here and pretty much forming higher highs again, higher point again, higher point again. So I'd like to see that replicate again. But if it were to break down, I mean, we could see this test below. Let's say it breaks out of this triangle here, go closer towards the 34-cent range. Then we have some more, say, support around this area too, 23, 22 cents, give or take, depending on where you measure it. And then that's pretty much, I'd say, the support levels that we could potentially see a drop, worst case scenario. And we can see here that it was hovering around this range too, the 20 plus cent range for quite a bit. And we even back here, we weren't even able to break out of the 23-cent mark. We touched it here, attempted it again here, and it barely even made it. Then all of a sudden, we finally broke out. But in terms of that percent drop, if that were the case, let's say first off, we're going back to like the 22 mark. We're looking at maybe like a 40, close to a 40% drop in price, assuming that were to not go the way we want it to and starts trending downwards. Looking at the RSI, it might indicate that it might be closer towards the overbought territory, at least for the short term. But again, you guys got to remember, this is something that's a long-term play. And obviously, Stellar seems to be moving a lot slower than some other cryptocurrencies out there. And you can tell, like back here, looking just back in November, let's just go at the low point right here. And then look at the current, at least the high gain right there. That's literally a 700+% gain. So just remember, things take time. Don't expect it to do this over and over and over again. But again, it's something that I would just say my short-term predictions, we could see it fluctuate within pretty much these resistance levels here. And then worst case, it would have dropped. We could see like a 40+% drop there. But let's just take a look really quick, just see what's going on with Stellar. And I'll give a little about too, since some people might be new to this and they don't even know what it does. But fun fact is, Jed McCaleb, aka the founder who created Stellar in 2014, was actually one of the co-founders of Ripple. So I've been following Stellar for quite a long time now, and some people don't even realize this. Like, this guy was also part of Ripple and decided to make his own version. And there's like some differences. Now I'm not gonna go too technical into that because this could be like a whole hour-long video. But this article actually does quite a good example of just giving like a general overview. So I'll just read it through you guys. So basically, as with Ripple and XRP, Stellar refers to the technology, while XLM or Lumens refers to the cryptocurrency. So remember, those are two different things. And then they state that Stellar is like Ripple in it that allows for quick and affordable sending and receiving of funds. So basically, make your life easier with payments. And they're similar to coding and Ripple, but the thing is, the differences lie with the blockchain and their actual target. But as of right now, Stellar is focused more on just the regular person, right? It's those that just pretty much are in areas where utilizing funding, sending transactions, things of that nature might be difficult. So maybe some more developed countries. And this is, you can see here, like developing areas. And, banks can still use it as well. But they're saying the focus of Stellar is on increasing the abilities of those in poor or less developed countries to interact in the global economy. And they have obviously instant and highly affordable transactions, which a lot of cryptocurrencies are working on that too. And they have the Stellar protocol, which allows for direct exchange of fiat currencies in case of high activity. So that's pretty awesome to see. And this typically converts the sender's money to Lumens. Then obviously that converts the Lumens to the receiver's currency. So here it just talks about are both necessary, and they state that, there's really no need for both. But at the end of the day, this is the crypto space, There's a lot of competitors. People like to make their own companies. And, you can just see it, right? So if one person, for instance, like something easy to understand is like Tesla electric cars, right? There can't be just one electric car company out there, right? Someone's going to make a competitor, which they already have. And then at the end of the day, they're going to fight for the top. And who knows? They all could coexist and work together. But for this, this is something dealing with payments, sending and receiving funding. So usually it's the one that ends up getting the most adoption and the one that everyone uses is typically the thing that people go with. Because at the end of the day, you can pay with cryptocurrencies, some for certain places, but at the most of the time, at least in America, most people pay with, your card, USD. So if they don't accept it, then it's a pain, it's annoying, and it's a hassle. So assuming whichever one has the most access and ease of use, would probably I'd see being the one used the most. But in terms, I'd say we have to wait for the long term to see what's going on with that. But overall, this was just like my quick outlook on Stellar Lumens, my thoughts. Definitely let me know what you think about it. Do you think it's continue trending upwards, break out soon, or do you think that it might take a dip below? The market might sell off before summer, people start going on vacations, spending their money elsewhere. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And aside from that, if you made this far in the video and you want to get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850, then be sure to click the first link in the description below and sign up for an account. And all you need to do is deposit $100 minimum or more, and you'll be able to receive 2 free stocks valued up to potentially $1,850. And aside from that, guys, be sure to hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, comment down below your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.